Hello, everyone. We have a new co-host this week for the hotel, Miss Liane Caruso, all the way from Florida.
Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for doing this. This is going to be it. I can feel it.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Awesome. So let's go ahead and kick things off then with some of our favorite stories from 1851 over the past couple of weeks. So the story that I wanted to talk about this week is all about franchisee connectivity. The headline that we have behind this one is How Franchisee Networking Facilitates System-Wide Success. So I've been writing for 1851 for about 4 years now. And one of the things that has been really consistent in speaking with a lot of franchisees, whenever they're really happy with the brand that they selected and that they've invested in, one of the key indicators that consistently has popped up is the fact that they have other franchisees within their system, that they're able to give them a call or meet up with them, just to be able to pick their brains and get any best practices or insights that they've experienced. So I think that that's something that is touted a lot in franchise systems, but isn't necessarily always carried through. So I think that having things like a franchise advisory council or having regional meetups for your owners, all of those things are really going to create a great system for your brand so that owners can, if a problem comes up, they can call up someone else in the system and say, hey, have you ever dealt with this before? How do I proceed? And I think it's just a great advantage that comes with the business model.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think using each other as a resource, able to learn from, mistakes or successes. Somebody's already been there, done that. Why not take advantage of that learning and share that with other franchisees in the system? I know a lot of franchisee systems have support systems where the franchisor will allow that open communication, whether it be through an intranet. Some of them create Facebook groups, which I think is really helpful. And I've been involved with some brands where the franchisees want to be able to talk to each other without Big Brother watching also. So I think one way to combat that, because obviously you want to know what they're talking about, but I think that open communication with the franchisees and allowing kind of that transparency will be less kind of secretive and behind the scenes, but just making sure that, everybody plays nice in the sandbox and we're all in this together. And when one franchisee does really well, another franchisee can learn from that. And then, the brand grows as a whole instead of like keeping all those secrets tight, to the chest. So I completely agree. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I think the article that you were bringing up has a good timely hook for this weekend, especially down in Florida.
It does. Yeah. So one of the ones that I was looking at was about using expos, both as a franchisor and as a prospective franchisee, to really be able to kind of hone in on the opportunity to look at a lot of different brands in one place. Right now, the Miami Franchise Expo South is happening as we speak. And I love expos in a sense that a prospective franchisee can come in, they can come prepared with questions, they know who's going to be there, they know in essence what either brands that they're looking at or industries that they're looking at or even cost buy-in that they're looking at, and then they can really have a targeted plan in order to go talk to the franchise development people face-to-face and ask really solid, good questions. They might even come across brands that they weren't expecting to run into that might be a good way to, might be a good opportunity for them. And I think having that face-to-face time is really important. When somebody's looking for a brand, it's obviously very time consuming to do all of the research and to, look at the testimonials and the franchise development websites and all the different articles and all of the portals that are out there. And so just having everybody in one-stop shop, I think, is really helpful for prospective franchisees.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think on the flip side of the coin for the franchisor, obviously you get face time with a whole lot of people that are considering investing in a brand. And obviously there are going to be some tire kickers or people that are there for the free stuff that your brand is giving out. But I think that if you go into it with the right expectations, it can be really valuable. You just have to understand that, yes, it's going to cost a pretty penny to exhibit at one of these things. But ultimately, if you're willing to put in that legwork and speak with owners or potential owners, I guess, that could end up, contributing to your system, it's worth it as long as you know what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah, completely agree.
All right. And then moving on then to franchise news. So this is a story that I'm definitely getting targeted ads for a lot, especially on Twitter right now. They seem to be going really all in on Twitter, at least for my demographic. But it's Burger King's Moldy Whopper. So they have a new ad out, and I'm looking at the picture right now, and it's pretty gross, but it's powerful. It's a picture of a Whopper, and it's been sitting out or whatever, so it's covered in like mold and all this gross stuff. But the point is to show that their food is made of actual real food. And it's a pretty clever way of digging at McDonald's in a way that doesn't call out the brand by name, because there's all those like viral videos and all that stuff out there that shows that if you leave a McDonald's burger sitting out, like nothing happens to it because it's not it's not the best material that's gone into it. But yeah, it's a powerful visual, that's for sure.
It's for sure. It's when you come into 1851, it's one of the first pictures that you see. Kind of like,
you're welcome.
But I think it's really impactful. I love the idea behind it. The whole McDonald's thing and the whole preservatives and all of our food. I think we're all becoming more savvy fast food eaters. And so I think it's a great way to, educate and push out a point that, hey, this is actually real and it's going to mold, and that's a good thing. Like, you shouldn't be able to leave it out for 28 days and have it still be in its original form. It's gross.
Yeah, it's something to think about, but yeah, it's a risk. I wonder, there are probably going to be people that are like, ew, I'm not eating that, but that's probably people that weren't eating your product to begin with. So who knows? All right, then moving on to our power rankings for the week. So last week, our top 5 has actually stayed consistent to what it was the week prior. So Sylvan, Big Blue Swim School, Eggs Up Grill, Amazing Lash, and Hand & Stone are all rounding out our top 5. But one of the biggest jumps that we did see this week, actually a couple of them. One is Wild Birds Unlimited jumped from 16 to number 7. So I think that that's a pretty significant look into a brand that's being talked about right now for sure. And the Salad Station also jumped from number 11 to number 9. So making some moves.
That's great. I'm super happy for both of those brands making some moves. One of our favorites in franchising is Paul Pickett, and he just won the Crystal Compass Award. So a little shout out to our friend Paul. So hopefully one of those reasons. And I know that he's making a consistent effort for the brand to post more on social, to do more on LinkedIn, more on Facebook. And he's doing a really, really great job. I've just kind of been watching him from a distance. And I love what they're doing. And so kudos to you guys for continuing to drive traffic and drive awareness and be real in essence.
Yeah.
And move the brand forward. Love it.
It's a good point. Got to be authentic. People can sniff that stuff out on social now a lot faster than they used to be able to. Don't underestimate how smart your consumer is or your franchise candidate.
That's right.
Something to consider. All right. I am now going to put on my best Nick Powell's impression and dive into his column. So Nick, if you've made it this far, let me know how we do in terms of dissecting your column this week. But this one is all about how everyone is at their best during the sales process. So Nick breaks it up in terms of talking about franchise candidates, and then also some of the struggles that our agency has had in terms of hiring, which I think is something that every company, regardless of what industry you're in, is going through right now. Obviously, when you're going through, whether it's a candidate that you're looking to become a franchisee, or you're someone that's looking to start a new job, you're going to put your best foot forward. Everyone has that like phone voice or, perception that they're going to put forward of themselves. And it can be really hard on the flip side of that coin to determine what's real versus what is embellished. Because obviously even if you're crystal clear in terms of saying, these are our expectations of our franchisees, or these are our expectations for this role, you need to be able to live up to those. And I think that right now it's not exactly adding up all the time, but it's a tough one. I don't envy people that are in the final position of saying yes or no on a franchise candidate or someone that's being hired, because unless you have the strongest gut feeling in the world, I don't think that there's a overarching kind of win or tool that's going to allow you to know whether or not a person is bullshitting you or being genuine.
Right. If only we had like a 90-day return policy on people.
Right. I get it when companies do those internships and then it's like, we'll see.
I know everybody's so great in the process, and you do see the best side of them, and then they come to work, and it goes both ways. Either we're not what they're expecting,
Yeah.
or in any sales process, but human beings really at the heart of all business, and so they're our most important asset, whether as a franchisee or as an employer or a salesperson, whatever the case may be. So it is really hard, but there's people that I've hired or I've been with, and that you look at them and they're just so amazing, and they're so great, and they're going to be so perfect. And then, maybe 90 days down the road, they don't quite meet the standards, or the expectations. And again, it can go both ways. It can be on both sides of the fence, but it's funny.
Yeah.
Let's institute a 90-day return policy.
I'm into that. I support this platform.
Give us a thumbs up if you think that's great.
Yeah, if you're on board with this, which I feel like people should be, because I feel like it's an interesting hiring landscape right now.
If you had a 90-day return policy for franchisee prospects.
Yeah, but they'd have to iron out who gets to keep that fee.
Right.
All right. Well, I think that's our live to tell for this week. But thank you so much, Liane, for co-hosting. This is great.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's a lot of fun.
Anytime. And let us know in the comments if you want Liane to host again, if you've made it this far.
Only good comments, please.
Only good, please. Otherwise, we'll 90-day return policy you. Okay, bye.
Thank you.